It's exactly 6:30 in the morning. This is the Integrity Station, Splash 105.5 FM. We're reaching you live from the big barrow city called Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State. How you doing this morning? I'm your host. I'm Ronke Giwa Onafuwa, and I will be ensuring, it'll be my duty this morning to ensure that you have a great Tuesday morning as we serve you all of the best in radio programming. So sit tight. We're starting with looking at the weather report with Blessing Agbeton, so as to plan our day, whether it's going to be a rainy day, a cloudy day, a sunny day, or you get to know right here. So I'll be right back after this information from Blessing Agbeton. Don't go away.
A very good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us once again. It is yet another time to take a look across the major cities in southwestern Nigeria to see what the weather has in store for today, Tuesday, the 8th day in the month of June 2021. In Ibadan today, the capital city will experience pleasant times of sun and clouds with the temperature at 32 degrees Celsius high. Abeokuta today will experience times of sun and clouds with a couple of thunderstorms later in the day with the temperature at 32 degrees Celsius high. Away from Abeokuta and now to Lagos. Lagos today will experience times of sun and clouds with a shower in the afternoon with a temperature at 31 degrees Celsius high. Ado-Ekiti today will experience sun and clouds with a thunderstorm later in the afternoon with a temperature at 30 degrees Celsius high. Away from that, and now to Osogbo, the capital city will experience times of sun and clouds with a thunderstorm later in the day with the temperature at 31 degrees Celsius high. And to bring today's edition of the weather forecast to a close, Akure will experience times of sun and clouds with a thunderstorm in the afternoon with a temperature at 29 degrees Celsius high. And that will be all on today's weather forecast for the major cities in the southwestern Nigeria, as brought to you by Splash 105.5 FM. Remember to put on the appropriate clothing to suit the demand of the weather for today. I am Blessing Agbeton. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back to Straight from the Dailies on Splash 105.5 FM. We're reaching you live from Ibadan, the capital of Oyo State, and we're glad to have you this morning. Thank you for tuning in to Splash 105.5 FM. All right, it is time for Straight from the Dailies, where we'll be looking at the stories making headlines in Nigerian newspapers. We say thank you very much. And of course, we've got our analyst in the building. We've got Barrister Yomi Ogunlola in the building. We've got Plateau in the building as well. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Ronnie. Good morning, Nigeria.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Plateau. Good morning, Ronke.
And how are you feeling this morning, gentlemen?
Well,
Great.
Great. Okay, so we're going to dive in real quickly to bring you stories making headlines. And of course, we know everyone's still talking about Twitter. And of course, there are different angles to it. There are headlines in the stories with regards to this as well. And of course, other stories as well. Please follow us on Facebook. We're going to be stressing Facebook now. So I'm sure Facebook is like, all of you that ran to Twitter. Now you're back. All right. So, well, yes.
The fear of NBC.
Exactly.
Everyone
is the beginning of
everyone is
wisdom.
back to I pass your neighbor now.
Exactly. Nigeria really is a level, isn't it?
So wait, Mr. President, will you also be using Facebook now?
Of course. You know the funniest part of it for me was the NBC rule that media stations should list their media handles. And then I said, it has been said that it is illegal to go to Twitter.
Yes.
How do I delete a Twitter handle if I don't go to Twitter?
And you should go, just click go and delete.
Well, then I'm not ready to commit an illegality.
I don't know if Mr. President has deleted, if they deleted Mr. President's account.
Well, his handle is still there.
Apparently, even the NBC.
The NBC handle is also still there. At least.
You see, it is governance brought to. Can you imagine such pettiness?
They are just confused.
Confused, yes.
But is it confusion? Because I guess somebody has to play the devil's advocate. So let me stay on that side. Since both of you have chosen to, somebody has to play the devil's advocate. But people really know what I really.
You said that something is illegal, and then you still want people to access it, and then go delist their handle.
Well, I guess the moment they had said it was illegal, I know it took time before telcos actually took their stance and actually disallowed people from using it. At that point, they were expecting that you were patriotic enough.
Well, they should have sent a message.
First lady, actually, that's what she did was what everyone ought to have done, according to them. When she realized that, her husband had, put a policy in place, she went and then she deleted her account, which is what all of you
Well, that is the first lady, and of course, the first lady already knew her husband. I'm sure that 99.9% of Nigerians don't know the president. That's the truth. They don't understand him because it's always about policy somersaults. And so if they would always believe that, if the president says this now, how sure are you that they would not, recant in the next 5 minutes? So why should I go ahead to delist my handle?
The interesting angle is the angle that the churches have chosen to take.
Of course.
Which is, I have Pastor Adeboye's one here. He tweeted, and of course, people, I know persons like Sam Adeyemi tweeted as well. And people are like, please, I want to be in the same jail.
Do you know the funniest thing about the whole episode?
Right.
The federal government appears unaware of the damage it is doing to itself. You know the way the handles operate. The micro blogging stuffs operate. Now those within Nigeria, most of what we send there is received by us. All right. Yeah. In other words, that we keep our secrets at home. But now with VPN, Nigerian news is filtering into other areas, and the whole world is getting to know the mess, that is in Nigeria.
Well,
that is aside the economy.
Right.
The ill effect, of this move.
And I think again, like you rightly said, Barrister, on the issue of economy, using a VPN does not come for free.
Absolutely.
It means database, your database, and every other thing.
And the risks.
So the cybersecurity aspect of it's like Nigeria, presenting itself to attacks, cyber attacks.
Right.
And all you need is just gain an inroad to a particular, line, and then you can access. Now imagine if, let's say in the Federal Ministry of Information, one of the permanent secretaries is using a VPN to access Twitter. And of course, it plugs that same phone of his to a system.
Wow, they'll get access.
So you can imagine
what, and then the most annoying of it all is that Minister for Justice, because we don't have an Attorney General, as far as I am concerned. That position is vacant.
The man Malami.
Yes, coming out to say he will prosecute people under a law that is under an offense that is unknown to law.
No.
It's a good thing that Barry says here.
Because I was going to ask,
how do the lawmakers feel right now to seeing that you've been made to look very silly because obviously your work.
The House of Reps said they are going to actually challenge the president in court on that.
Right.
That I heard, and
which
because
court?
What is the due process? For example, if I want people to obviously desist from doing a certain thing and it's not in the law, what is the due process?
You go and make the law now.
You made the lawmakers.
You made the lawmakers now.
Okay.
Abishebi, they have been in the house all this while talking about controlling social media.
Exactly.
So and you people haven't gotten through that. Look, let me tell you this. We know that the system allows the executive to make what may be called law, in a loose sense.
Okay.
For instance,
so there's a loophole.
Not that. You have statutory instruments, but you can see their field. They regulate the organizations to which they relate. For instance, look at the courts. The courts have rules of courts. They are not law per se, but they were enabled by an act of parliament. So when they talk about broadcasting houses, this one, that one, of course, they probably would have such regulations, those statutory instruments in terms of controlling them and all that. But coming out to now say you want to prosecute Oyedepo, who has been using his Twitter now, you want to prosecute Kumuyi, you want to prosecute Emma Trigon, because the position of the law is unequivocal. No person shall be convicted of an offense, save and except that offense is defined and the penalty, therefore, prescribed in a written law. So, if there is no law, we don't know what Malami is talking about. Is that man really a lawyer?
It's such a pity. I mean, that's supposed to be the foremost lawyer, really, in the country.
I said this a long time ago.
Well, maybe that is anticipatory. Maybe an anticipatory prosecution, sincerely, because that's the only way I can see it.
I mean,
like I said, I like the angle that the church leaders have chosen to take. They're still tweeting, obviously, and the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye, has said the tweets from his official handle at Pastor E.A. Adeboye are in line with universal human rights stipulated by the United Nations. Pastor Adeboye made the announcement on Twitter, which has been banned in Nigeria by the federal government. A tweet via Pastor E.A. Adeboye on Monday stated, the Redeemed Christian Church of God is domiciled in more than 170 nations and territories. The tweets here are in accordance to Article 19 of the UN Universal Declaration of
which
Human
Nigeria
Rights.
is a signatory to.
Bam.
Okay. So like I said, I mean,
the eyes are
which Nigeria is a signatory to.
This takes us back to when obviously Twitter cited its headquarters in Ghana, and obviously Lai Mohammed was one that said we're the cause because we're derepping and what was the word he used again?
Demarketing.
We're demarketing Nigeria, and Twitter cited the reasons that, of course, they feel like in such a democracy,
freedom of expression.
Absolutely. So I mean, the fact that they are laying credence to that accusation. I mean, do they not think
I don't know.
about...
I said something yesterday. They say presidency. Now they have defined presidency to mean something else aside the president. All right? And that the president can do some things on his own, and the presidency can do some things, on its own. You see, the obfuscation is killing. You start asking yourself, now, look at what is happening. A militarized democracy, how can you attract business interest, international investors into such a country when they know you can just wake up one morning and bring out one draconian order or whatever that is not even backed by law? Look, Buhari, I don't know if the man is, sober reflecting, if he ever does that, because history will never forgive him for what he has done to this country in the last 6 years.
And I think it's also important to say that we might be on the path to civil disobedience. I think it was St. Augustine or St. Thomas Aquinas that was saying that an unjust law is no law. An unjust law is no law. And when you make a policy that is repugnant, that is repugnant to anything you can call civil, then you can be sure that acts of civil disobedience would always spring from it. Now, the likes of the pastors,
you're provoking people to.
Now, it's telling you that now one would be expecting, maybe whether they will go pick Pastor Adeboye, pick Bishop Oyedepo, pick Pastor Kumuyi, pick Pastor Samadiyemi, and you can be sure that the retinue of their members will go with you. So it's like, and I think I've said this several times, that this government has been so notorious for, bringing its own downfall.
Nigerians are crying now. Nigerians are crying.
Let me say, maybe for the presidency or president, whichever one, we're thinking, Twitter, there's a lot of controversial stuff that's happening. Nigerians are very mouthy on Twitter. So they're thinking, he doesn't want to be in his own name, his administration, that Nigeria will break up or fall apart or get destroyed.
Ronnie, as we have the secessionists on Twitter, there are those who tackle them.
Of course.
And that's a mistake. You don't fight the system from outside. Now, for those who are against Buhari, there's almost, an equal number of army of, tweetees who are also in his support. So that's why you see that someone who's against the government tweets, and then someone, possibly cuts his tweet, retweets, and then condemns what he has said. And it's a balanced thing.
I saw a picture when
it depends on who you are following.
Celebrating the ban of celebrating the ban of Twitter.
Ronke, you know what is happening? It is the age-old arrogance of Nigerian rulers taken too far. Buhari is feeling like Odindi me. He hold me. And I was very happy when Twitter replied him. But we don't know you.
Right, I think that was false.
That wasn't Twitter.
Really?
That
even if it was not Twitter, I am saying it. They don't know you.
And even if they know you, your laws are not binding on them. There are rules. The only ground which I think Barrister also mentioned yesterday is the fact that Twitter could have been fair. Retaining tweets from the likes of Nnamdi Kanu, while that of Buhari was deleted, is not a fair standard.
Twitter is like security. If someone is stealing here, nobody says people are stealing. The government
that creates a problem.
No.
Facebook had to create up. I remember sometimes 2 years ago there was a discussion on the counterterrorism project, and this borders on how the use of social media. Now, will Twitter have allowed a far-right extremist group in France to tweet anything, knowing full well that they've been flagged in France, but not declared a terrorist group by the United Nations Security Council? Would they have allowed their tweets to fly? Will Ku Klux Klan, which is known as a flagged group in the US, be allowed to tweet, even though they have not been declared by the United Nations Security Council as a terrorist group? Would they have allowed that tweet?
But there are still people who are sympathetic towards these IPOB people because they feel this.
People are sympathetic.
People can be sympathetic to whatever they choose, But the issue is this: Twitter and other social media bloggers ought be up to their game.
Facebook is doing that, Barrister.
Exactly.
Because they have certain community rules that
so you don't wait until people come to complain. You should vet the things that are going out through your handle.
Okay, all right, let's take a short commercial break. Don't forget we're live on Facebook. We're live. I want to see your comments as well. All of our old tweets and people who are tweeting.
Don't tweet, if you tweet, they can open the court because of you.
All right, just go to facebook.com/Splash FM 105.5. I've got a comment there, so just put your comment underneath mine or underneath this video. And by the way, thank you very much for watching us live on Facebook. I'll take a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about Igongon for a minute as well, so don't go away.
dúró sórí àlà gbáradì ó ti yá bẹ̀rẹ̀ oṣù tuntun pẹ̀lú soccer ready promo tó kà màmá pẹ̀lú Samsung ra èyíkéyìí Galaxy S21 olóríṣiríṣi kó o sì gba buds live kan wàá tún gba Bluetooth headset lórí gbogbo Galaxy A32 àti àpò alágbèékẹ́yìn backpack tó bá ra A12 àwọn àǹfààní tó kà màmá wà tó bá ra Galaxy A02 náà ìfilọ́lẹ̀ yìí bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọjọ́ 4 oṣù kẹfà di ọjọ́ 2 oṣù kejì ọdún 2021 tààrà ṣàṣà àǹfààní yìí wà títí ọjà ó fi tán lẹ̀ àdéhùn àti àsọtẹ́lẹ̀ ń bẹ o.
Uncle Dentist, wetin be cavities and how Colgate take dey protect my teeth from cavities? Shey dey use comfort?
No dear, na hole for teeth dey cause most tooth pain wey be cavity. But if you use Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection take brush every day, the confirmed formula go help keep natural calcium inside our teeth wey go protect them from tooth decay.
Time don reach to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Now, the Nigerian Dental Association, they recommend Colgate.
Kọ̀ńdọ́tọ̀ ikọ̀ yìí le jù o ó yẹ kó lọ sí ilé ìwòsàn.
Tí n bá lọ sí ilé ìwòsàn pẹ̀lú ikọ́ lásìkò yìí pẹ́rẹ́ wọ́n máa rò pé mo ní COVID-19 ni.
Rárá wọn ò ní sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ àwọn dókítà ní àfihàn ikọ́ yàtọ̀ sí àìsàn kan sí kejì ikọ́ mi ìgbẹ́ ìmí ìtutù bíi tiẹ̀ yìí.
Mo ti sọ fún kọ̀ńdọ́tọ̀ mi ikọ́ ẹ̀ tó kọ̀ tí ò kásẹ̀ lẹ́yìn ó lè jẹ́ kọ́ ife.
Kọ̀ńdọ́tọ̀ yẹ̀ wò kó lè mọ̀ dájú nítorí pé ẹni tí kò bá lọ kò lè mọ̀.
Ẹ yẹ ikọ́ yẹn wò fún ikọ́ ife.
Ẹgbẹ́ ẹ̀ ká mọ ohun tí ń ṣe.
Tí
o bá ní ikọ́ tó ti lo ọ̀sẹ̀ méjì láì kásẹ̀ nílẹ̀, ó lè jẹ́ ikọ́ ife o. Ọ̀fẹ́ láyẹ̀wò àti ìtọ́jú ikọ́ ife. Fún àlàyé ibi tí o ti lè ṣe àyẹ̀wò ikọ́ ife, pè nọ́mbà kan sí orílẹ̀ fún ìtọ́jú ikọ́ ife ní 3340. Ìkéde ìwá látọ̀dọ̀ ilé-iṣẹ́ ìjọba àpapọ̀ tó ń mójútó ètò ìlera pẹ̀lú àtìlẹ́yìn àwọn ará ìlú Amẹ́ríkà.
Attain the knowledge you require to join the broadcasting industry. Splash FM Media Academy offers premium training to both aspiring and practicing personalities. And enroll now at Splash FM Media Academy for a certificate of proficiency in broadcast journalism. Splash FM Media Academy courses include Introduction to Presentation, Basic Production, Digital Media, Yoruba Presentation, plus interactive practical mentorship session with veterans and industrial placement. To register, visit the Splash FM Media Academy beside White House, Felele, Ibadan. You can also register online at splashfm1055.com/academy or call 0705-439-3332. Visit our social media pages on Facebook and Instagram at Splash FM Academy for more details. Realize your potential and pursue a career in radio broadcasting today. Splash FM Media Academy, preserving media integrity.
Good night, Susan.
Oh, good night, sir.
Hi. You need it when? Okay, we'll get it done. Guys, we can't leave. Got to finish the client's order tonight. Tonight?
This time?
How about some top tea to cheer us up?
Tea. Top tea.
Only one bag of top tea makes 2 strong cups. So taste to know more flavor, enjoyment,
great
friendship, and upliftment.
Wow, this looks gorgeous.
Taste to know. Top tea.
As the best man, I'd like to give a toast. But first, I have a few things to say. The money they are spraying the couple is reducing. It seems some people have rubbed glue under their shoes to pack it.
Clearly, he's been watching comedy nights or maybe My Siblings and I on Africa Magic Urban, DSTV channel 153. Now, you too can get inspired by our local entertainment. Get a HD decoder, dish, plus 1 month DSTV compact subscription for only 18,600 Naira. Because great stories start on DSTV.
Anytime malaria show, Nakam Shalatem.
Má ṣe gba ibà láyè lára rẹ o. Tètè kojú rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú Shalatem. Shalatem jẹ́ ojúlówó oògùn ibà tí a fi artemether àti lumefantrine ṣe láti ọwọ́ Shalina Healthcare ní ilẹ̀ tiwantiwa Nàìjíríà. Shalatem wà fún ọmọdé, ó sì wà fún àgbàlagbà. Pàápàá jùlọ, ó wà fún gbogbo ọjọ́ orí. Wàyé o, rántí láti lo Shalatem pẹ̀lú oúnjẹ. Tí àlàáfíà ò bá wá dé bá ara rẹ lẹ́yìn ọjọ́ mẹ́ta, tètè kó ya lọ rí dókítà.
Omo, make you no sleep on top bicycle. This better don't tie rapper. For those of una wey never use una MTN SIM for over 15 days now. MTN don't charge. Come increase your welcome back of our woof to 12 times your recharge when you load 100 Naira and above. Yes, so no be 1, no be 2, no be 3, no be 4, no be even 10 sef. Now 12 times your recharge, then go take credit and data knock your phone. This one means say if you recharge 100 Naira, MTN go summer you with 900 Naira credit plus 300 Naira data bonus. If you can't recharge 200 Naira, now 1,800 Naira credit go drop for your phone plus 600 Naira data bonus. Just make sure so you use *161 recharge pin hash take recharge and enjoy your bonus for up to 30 days. Omo, this one don't pass welcome back. MTN can add Shaw Banker second term on top self. Hey, where that my MTN SIM? Make me self begin follow enjoy better too.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Wetin you need na safeguard.
Children that like to play.
Them like to play.
Small pigs that must jolly oh.
Them like to jolly oh.
But remember one thing, protect them with safeguard so. Protect them with safeguard. Oh. Protect them with safeguard so. From that teen yama so the future go better.
Safeguard antibacterial soap. They comot every yama for body. E also dey available for 50-gram size.
Welcome back. It is still straight from the dailies, and we're looking at stories making headlines from the newspapers this morning. We're enjoying you to go to our Facebook page and leave your comments and contributions on the stories making headlines today. I'll go through a few security stories. Let's start from the presidency now, where it says here that there's a lot of pressure on the security. President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday said that there's a lot of pressure on security and wants the military to tap from his experience as a former actor to deal with modern challenges. This was revealed by the Minister of Defense Bashir Magashi in a chat with correspondents after presenting the new Chief of Army Staff, Major General Farouk Yahya, to the President at the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Magashi said President Buhari stressed the need for synergy among the security services, revealing that there will be many changes soon. Magashi also told reporters about their interaction with the president. He told him that there's a lot of pressure on security, and being an actor at one point or the other has given us a direction in which we can learn from his experiences and apply them to our modern operations. And I think we've taken the advice seriously. The issue of synergy among the security forces was also stressed, and I'm sure there will be a lot of changes as regards to the security operations in the country. I mean, there's a lot when we talk about security. We're talking about the can we even include maybe the Amotekuns and some of this local, and what are we looking forward to? The changes that they are asking or they are saying that they will make, what would we advise in order to have proper synergy among some of these security outfits?
Well, I think Nigerians are most unambiguous, in their demands concerning security. First, a lot of people have seen that having a centralized police system is not doing the country any good. And so, reasonable minds have come out and have advocated for the enabling of state police. All right? And some have even gone further than that it is not enough to have state police. We can also have local government police. And of course, we have the vigilantes and what have you, called by whatever name, because they are localized. They understand their terrain, and they can be very, very useful to the security architecture. I don't know why we are refusing to go this way. I said something here some time ago, and some people said, those were precursors to the civil war in Nigeria. That part of the problems we have been having with this centralized system, when you have somebody from Okija posted to Abeokuta as a police officer, what do you want him to go and do there? What kind of security is he going to provide for them? The people of Abeokuta are their own best security, and the people know them. So all this, majority of the abuses that we see is because, like the Yorubas will say, when you are abroad, well, you can do whatever you like or whatever. That is what is happening here.
Do you agree with that, Plateau?
Well, I would not agree, because if that argument would actually suffice, then it means that our governors, House of Rep members, senators should have been performing better, because they are from that constituency.
Right.
Yet they go ahead, But then that argument would also be, very much substantial, because again, there is something about policing. Policing is about connection. So how well do you connect to the community where you are? If I know that my father's house is in Bere and I'm asked to police Bere, I know that if the hoodlums, go on rampage and I don't protect Bere very well, well, my father's house may be touched. So, there are two sides to it. However, I think what we may also need to talk about is what I call the multi-level policing. We keep talking about, sometimes, most time when we talk, we say just, community policing or state police. I don't think that's the problem, the solution. We can adopt from, say, India. We can have multi-level policing. We can have community policing side by side with, even the federal policing structure that we have. And with that, we'll ensure that policing is brought to the grassroots. Everyone at the grassroots feels that sense of responsibility. I was asking sometimes ago, and I said, "Where's our PCRC?" I can't remember. I think the last time I saw a PCRC was their tag on someone, in someone's car. That was the last time I saw a PCRC. Where are the PCRC? What connection does the different police stations and the DPOs, or even the area officers have with the different community leaders?
I mean, with that now, look at Igon, for example. What would have happened differently if we take into consideration some of the things that you...
Yes, you see, we live in a country where we are reactionaries. We prefer to be reactionaries rather than being proactive.
Right.
I mean, I would have thought, that with the experiences we had in Igongon, that place would have been better policed, security-wise, and that what we have seen now would never have occurred, But it's like we went back to sleep. But kudos must still be given to the people of Igongon all the same, because the information we got is that they got about 5 members of the marauders, So that is to tell you that they were not completely asleep.
But very sadly, I think again an interesting dimension to it was the fact that they had given intel, shouted that they have heard, and that's one thing. There is actually no surprise in a surprise attack, because somebody will be in the know. And when that person is in the know, and such news filters, Barrister rightly said, we love reactionary measures. What did we do when we heard that there were going to be attacks on Igongon? It's good that the Southwestern governors came out yesterday and said that, okay, Amotekun should work, hand in hand across the different states of the region. Good one. But what did we do? What did the Commissioner of Police do?
What have we done with the imminent danger that Togun announced?
What did the governor do when it was claimed by some people that some persons were arrested with arms and ammunition and they were taken, and of course the CP requested that they be transferred to Ibadan? What has happened to them? You see,
and another thing, Plateau, we have been receiving several reports that when these so-called Fulani herders are arrested and taken to police stations, that they are released. What have the southern leaders, governors, done about that?
That's the point. That's what I just raised now.
What have they done about that?
If the OPC, for instance, claimed that they arrested over 40 people, found them with a catchment of arms and ammunitions, and then they took them to the police station, and these guys were transferred to the state CID, and they were apparently released. What did the governor do to follow up?
Exactly.
See, and I think enough of this being politically right.
Politically correct.
If politically correct, if I'm a governor and I hear such, see, forget it, I'll go the Fayoshe way. Because if when push comes to shove, definitely you'll come back to your doorstep.
Oh, definitely. So what is happening? Are they that lily-livered?
So why are we being gentlemanly about this?
Are they so afraid of President Buhari that they cannot do what is right?
Now, the apex leader of the umbrella body of Yoruba Self-Determination Group, Ilana Omo-Oduwa, Professor Banji Akintoye, on Monday issued an alert to the Yoruba people saying that the early Sunday attack of the people of Igongon in Barakwa North Local Government area of Oyo State by Fulani is a declaration of war against the peace-loving Yoruba people. In a statement personally signed by him and made available to journalists by his communication manager, Mr. Maxwell Adeleye, he commended Governor Rotimi Akeredolu of Ondo State on his stand on Igongon mayhem. Akintoye called on the Southwest governors to put aside constitutional objections to defend their people, saying Yoruba land has been surrounded and we must act now. What does this kind of statement say?
Well, I'll put the blame at the doorstep of the federal government. See, anything that happens now, I said something here yesterday.
Yes.
Hobbes said that the first rule of man is the rule of self-preservation. So everyone will do whatever is humanly possible, not necessarily. See, the whole idea of law and order came after we signed social contracts. So the rule of self-preservation predates the social contract, and if by virtue of that, I decide to sign a social contract, and you're not fulfilling your part as the arbitrator on the social contract, then you would expect me to go back to that rule of social preservation, self-preservation. People will start, and I've been saying this for like 4 years here, that I pray that we don't go back to a situation where people will begin to resort to self-help.
Yes.
That's what we're seeing now.
I sympathize with Southwest governors because they owe allegiance to the Constitution. But what I want to tell them is...
But Barrister, more to their people.
No, yes. What I want to tell them is law is made for man. It is never the other way around. They have a duty to protect their citizens, those who gave them power to be where they are. And we're not going to sit down and be listening to what they are saying in Abuja when some people, some psychopaths are coming into your land and killing your own people.
Right.
It is time to take a proactive measure against that. We don't want
Autumn
that.
is becoming like a hero now.
Of course.
As much as you may not agree with his methods,
Of
he's
course.
becoming like a hero.
Because
if a
it is
governor will say,
appearing.
see, get your cutlass,
It is
get
appearing.
licenses. Because he knows that, see, the federal government has, derelicted in its duty to
Yes,
ensure
now.
the safety of lives and properties.
You can imagine, it is appearing that the so-called herders, the killers, are getting the support of government, or perhaps Buhari's government is looking the other way.
Right.
And if the Buhari government is looking the other way,
Okay.
you see, governors should be very careful. What Plateau is saying is a possible reality.
Right.
The people would come out to protect themselves,
Okay,
and
yes.
what that would mean for the administration of
Definitely
Southwest
not,
governors.
Absolutely not a good thing. All right, let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Okay, all right, call the number 0706 949 3000 in order to contribute to this program. Hello, good morning. Good morning. What's your
Good
name,
morning.
please, and where are you calling from?
Joseph Oluwasegun from Ibadan.
Pardon?
Joseph Oluwasegun from
Okay,
Ibadan.
good to have you here, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like the statement that the other man made. He said, what did the governor do? When there was an alarm, he's supposed to do something. And I don't blame the governor. He doesn't know how to express himself. You can't compare him with Ajimodi, or you compare him with Fayose. The boldness, the charisma is not there. That is one of the things I don't like about this governor. He doesn't have that charisma. He's too cool. Look at the Iworo issue during the answers. He's more or less pleading with the doubt. So I don't just know. That is one of the problems I have with this government. Good morning.
Okay. Is it about charisma? Do you agree?
Well, I think it's even a cool man, a cool lion.
Exactly, can
The, the calmness of a lion does not take away. Its lion.
Exactly.
So-
I think my brother.
But he has a point.
Shegun has his point, but you should listen to Fayose, what he said concerning Sheyi Makinde.
Well, that's another thing.
Let's go. All right. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Madam Ronke.
Good morning. What's your name, please?
Good morning.
Oh, hi, Izzy. Good to have you here. Go ahead.
I feel I'm enjoying Barrister and Plateau. I see the vibe. Look at that vibe. Initially, they'll speak calmly. But look at everybody is coming out. How long are we going to be silent? Tell me. We'll come to the radio, we want to talk soft. It can't continue like that when people are being killed every day. Every day. Now, I don't the self-determined, that man who is born for self-determination mentioned that Dolu's name. I was expecting him to mention Sheyi Makinde because he also spoke. But that tells a lot. Why is he recognizing only Akere Dolu? You have only Akere Dolu only as a governor representing the South, the entire South? My own suggestion is this. We need Southern solidarity. The division of the South is what is causing this mayhem. If we do away with IPOP and do away with Oduduwa and all the Southern nations, the Southern states come together as one, that will be the beginning of the Lord's blessing on our nation. But as far as we are divided, we are going separate ways, it will be difficult. These guys will penetrate into us and harm us the more. We need Southern solidarity now. It beckons on us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I quite agree with you. And I think...
and let's also not live in the illusion that the North is also united.
Okay, let's take this next one. Hello, good morning. Wanted to go. Let's keep it going. All right, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good
Ronke.
morning. What's your name, please?
Mr. Akimolu
Shere. Good morning.
That's Barrister. Good morning.
Morning, Ake.
Oluwasegun Akiola posted something on Facebook yesterday. In Igogon, the Fulani Esme operated for almost an hour. And in Benue State, they operated for several hours.
no security agency to come and contain them. And our president, I believe till now, has not condemned the attack in Ibadan. But our president is very, very swift, and all it says to condemn Twitter when his tweet was deleted.
The president is studying the issue.
He's studying the issue.
And it takes time to study something.
Our president, loves to
that
send condolence messages.
That all his actions pointed to one fact that loss of life in Nigeria does not mean anything to him. That Nigeria is being killed every day, children being kidnapping in schools. There was a time maybe during the Kankara area. He said that will be the last time such thing will happen. Now we are seeing now several cases has happened. Yet our president see nothing wrong in that one. But he saw that his tweet being deleted, it was very wrong. Now, does he know what this thing is costing Nigerians? Does he know how many millions, how many billions Nigerians is losing based on because he was offended? We have a president that doesn't care about us. And I will say it again, as I've been saying it, what is our now doing? If the president cannot live on his opposition, let him be removed. Have a nice day.
All right.
Ronke, I don't know if you also got this story of the children that were kidnapped. Well, maybe yesterday or the day before. You know, the little kids.
Okay, yeah, that was on Sunday evening.
On Sunday evening.
I think Chacha took it.
Yes,
yesterday.
and that one of the kids died. The corpse of one of the kids was found. I mean, maybe a 3 or 4 year old kid. A 3-year-old. So you can imagine. No, I think
let's take this international call. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Is this Shino?
Good morning. My name is Shino.
Hi, Shino. Good to have you here today.
Hi.
Go ahead
Thank
real
you.
quickly.
I just want to talk about the way the governor of your state is reacting to these insecurity issues in your state. I don't think it's right enough. I don't think it's right enough at all. See, all this political correctness, it doesn't make any sense at this point in time. He needs to stand up for his people. People are dying by the day. That was the same way when this Igongon issue initially started, at the first time when it was Sunday Igboho that actually went there and then raised alarm, and then it became a big deal. These people said they've been sending emissaries and information to the government, and nobody answered them. Nobody came to their call until Sunday Igboho went there, and at the end of the day, he rebuked Sunday Igboho for it. That became a major thing, a major deal in the news back then. Now, another thing has happened again, and the governor is not really standing firm to say something to really condemn this. All he's saying is that people should be calm. Is he trying to contest for another election that we don't know? Maybe the vice president of the nation or something. He should stand up for his people. Yes, his populism agenda is making sense to a large extent, but when it comes to these insecurity issues in Oyo State, I'm serious. It's a far cry. It's a below par for him. He should stand up for his people. Thank you.
And I think we should also ask, where is the Speaker of the House of Assembly? Because it's from there.
Exactly. Exactly. You see, that is why what Shegun, no, not Shino.
Okay.
Shegun called before.
Shegun.
You know, the admonition of Shegun for southern governors to come together and unite and have a common front on this security issue is something I would want the governors to explore.
All right, let me just read this comments on
I hope
on
it's
Facebook.
not from Twitter.
From Facebook. Olabode Anthony says, let them prosecute all Twitter users. Are we in a military regime? Who constitutes the presidency? You shut down protests, you ban Twitter, Facebook and WhatsApp are the next. This regime is confused and inept. PMB is living in the past with his acts and speeches. He has shown the world what kind of divisive leader he is. Oladile Kolajo says, Autumn's way is the right way. Obviously, Southwest governors should support their people to defend themselves. Since that Igongo attack, there's been no single statement from the federal government. They just look away. And Olani Idari says, the fact is nothing lasts forever. The president will leave soon. Garibashe will leave soon. Additional will leave soon. Then nemesis will catch up with them. By that time, it will be too late to correct the damage they've done. All right, just quickly, Raji Afizabidemi says, good morning, Ronke, Barrister and Plateau. On the issue of banning of Twitter in Nigeria, honestly, this is uncalled for. Federal government doesn't realize that a lot of Nigerian youth have lost their businesses and jobs. I'm urging federal government of Nigeria to open Twitter again.
Ronke, please, just before you go, we must talk about this one.
Jusun.
Ọ̀rọ̀ Jusun ti ẹ̀kọ́. Jusun is not a problem. Ọ̀rọ̀ iná ni o.
It is so bad.
Have we all forgotten about light? Or they brought it out to take our attention away.
Nigeria's power supply.
We'll take this off air. Thank you very much for listening. We've got Beyond the Service at 8 o'clock, but Sports Bank is coming at 7:30. I'm Ronke Giwa Onafuwa. No, it's really bad with Barry.
When we say we're committed to giving you more, here's what we mean. We mean going the extra mile to ensure you have the best customer experience. In fact, if you make an instant